Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we're going to talk about some June energy. I don't know what's been going on. Everything feels really weird, really heavy, really dark. Let me know in the comments how you felt through the month of May, because I felt almost paralyzed. I felt so off. Like there was nothing, it wasn't worth doing anything, I think is how it felt. I do wonder, being Canadian, if that was just the aftermath of the election and knowing what BS and effery is coming our way. And it was, oh my God, I can't even shuffle the cards. And it was just feeling kind of ick. I don't know. I think it's also the fact that it rained. Like we called May 2025 monsoon season. It rained nonstop, constantly. It was awful. And I don't mind a good storm at night while I'm sleeping, but when it's just all day, every day rain, like I finally today got my car cleaned out, because for the month of May I couldn't, because it was just pouring rain all the time. So yeah, that's let me know in the comments how you're feeling, because I feel like there's just been a little black rain cloud over us, like literally and figuratively and spiritually and emotionally and everything else. All the things. And yeah. Although I kind of returned back to my life after a crazy few months of, I finally got back to reading again. So I started a new book and just, returning back to my own life. I did volunteer a lot with the elections, so that kept me busy. And just, yeah, that was like 6 weeks basically that I was tied up with the election, and before that I was sick. So it's been a weird year, and it's flown by. I cannot believe 5 months have gone by. 5 months. In a month we will be halfway through 2025. What have you accomplished? Because I've accomplished very little, and it feels very strange. And I don't get it. So that's my chitty chat while you watch me shuffle the cards, because if I don't let you watch me shuffle, I get emails from people saying, you need to show us shuffling the cards. And I agree. But then you also need to stick around long enough to get the reading after I've, babbled on while shuffling them. And this, of course, is the True Crime deck. It is massive. It's a whole vibe. Polar shift. Interesting. Okay. Predictions for June. Had to remind myself what we're doing here. Polar shift. Huh. Polar shift. At this point, nothing would surprise me. Like if the poles changed, I'd be like, okay. If I stepped out in my backyard and there was a 17-foot tall alien eating an ice cream cone, I'd be like, okay, this is what I'm so beyond being surprised by anything anymore that and I know you're wide awake, and that's why you're here. Because if you're not, if you're like, what are you talking about? You may be at the wrong rally. Polar shift. I feel like this is more, not necessarily the actual like magnetic poles shifting, but more of a shift in society, a shift in this is a really interesting card to come right out of the gate, and it feels really big. But like there's something's going to happen that's everybody's going to kind of wake up or go back to sleep, one or the other. Trapped. And we're all going to be trapped. A celebrity. Is a celebrity being trapped? And we're going to find out, and then everybody's going to start changing their minds about things, like maybe all the people in the Diddy case. Elbows up, Mike Myers. Yeah. Motel, hotel. Isn't that interesting? And a knife. That looks like that Bud Light influencer person. Okay. All right. We'll see what else comes up here. The cards are, maybe the cards are feeling blah too. Or maybe at the end of June, this is all going to make sense. I'll be like, oh my gosh. There was a, like here's a, you know, a story, you know, a celebrity stabs somebody in a hotel, they're trapped, and everybody starts to feel differently about them, right? That's how you could easily read that. So keep an eye out for a well-known person being in a hostage situation in a motel with a knife. Wouldn't that be hilarious if that was true? Like, not hilarious for them, but for me, right? Like, whoa, nailed it. Nailed it. Poison. Arson. Oh, they're going to burn down the churches again? They're going to start burning down churches? We've had a lot of that. Beach. Who's going to get washed up on a beach? And oh my gosh, this is kind of, okay. Wow. We're going to pull more on that. We're going to pull more on that. I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more. So yeah, let me know where in the world you are and how June has been feeling. I know for our friends like in Australia and New Zealand, it is it winter now for you starting? Or is winter just, are you still in autumn? And is it getting colder there? Like, do you still, if you live in Australia, and then do you still go to the beach in the winter? Is it hot enough to go to the beach? Like, we don't go to the beach here because it's usually just covered in ice and snow in the winter. Okay. But yeah, if you're from like the southern hemisphere and you're sort of on opposite seasons, what's going on in your part of the world? Landfill. Oh. Yeah. Well, they did find a body in a landfill recently in Canada, out west somewhere, I think. Oh no, was it Hamilton? Maybe it was Western Toronto. Protection. Oh, that reminds me of the Gilmore Girl in Omni Peritus, or whatever that saying was. Dating. Who's dating? Who's getting married? This is really weird. Did somebody end up with somebody because they felt they'd be protected, but then there were crimes against humanity and perhaps a landfill? Is that what's going to come out? Like, what's rolling around in my head right now is Lily and Jack. Because there was that whole weird dynamic between the baby mommy and the stepfather and the baby daddy and just the brother and the, yeah. All right. We'll maybe set those aside. We'll maybe come back to that one. We're definitely coming back to this one. Definitely coming back to this one. Well, I have you here, held hostage. Don't forget to click subscribe. Leave a comment so I know you were here. I'm really working on turning my subscribers into supporters. And there's only one way to do that, and that's by commenting. So if I see your name over and over, there's actually, I have an offer right now. It's not really an offer. It's a free event that I'm hosting, but I'm only sending the information to my supporters. So if you would like to start receiving that kind of information, start commenting, become a supporter, because there's like, I don't know, 800 and something people on my channel, and I'm not getting a lot of comments, which I don't understand. So just talk to me, okay? Please, please. Don't be like people in my real life who don't talk to me. I think I already shuffled this, but here we are doing it again. Obviously, I didn't feel like it was shuffled enough. All right, what do we have here? What? Operation Mockingbird, government-controlled media. If you're in Canada, that's the CBC. White-collar crime. Our Prime Minister? Yeah, our Prime Minister. Number one. Affluent, our prime minister, yeah, this bajillionaire, just, just because he felt like helping Canadians, yeah, helping himself to Canadians' money. Aliens, yeah, he doesn't even consider himself Canadian, so he could be technically called an alien here in the immigration sense of the word. I'm not saying that this is what it's about, but I think it is. Yeah, and the paranormal. Interesting. Interesting that I spoke about aliens already. That if I saw a 7-foot alien eating an ice cream cone in my backyard, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? Do you want a coffee? I'll put some on. Yeah, interesting. Okay. All right. I want to know more about this. Okay, sorry for not having a huge setup here. Someday. Fun fact, my tip jar is in the description of this video. So, if you top me up, then all that money goes towards helping to do better here. For, tools for the table, but then also like filming equipment and things like that. I'm starting to feel like I need a new phone. I don't know why that many came out, and they wanted to go there. So here we go. We'll have a wee look. Sunglasses, 27. Disguise. Oh my gosh. Hiding, playing it cool. Yeah, somebody in disguise. Interesting. 61 is the snowflake. One of a kind. Okay, yeah. 106, engagement, commitment. Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that we got this? Wedding and marriage and dating. Isn't that interesting? Okay. All right. And then 133 is the stacked books, or a book partially read, sorry. Distracted, something left unfinished, no closure. 54. It's a dog. Loyal. Year of the dog. I don't know what year the year of the dog is. I feel like somebody's, yeah, that whole washed up on a beach element, but that perhaps it's a hit and run. Ooh, something's going to come out about something. And then there's like this kind of thing. The church is being burnt down. That's kind of freaky. I don't know why so many are coming out. 92 is the shark. The shark. Unseen danger, predator. Yeah, so there's somebody who's being preyed upon, but they don't know it. And then we're going to have this situation. 11 is the courthouse, legal issue, the law, government, and politics. Could be someone in the government, could be somebody in politics, could be someone in the legal profession that either exposes it all, is going to expose it, and ends up washed up on the beach. You know what we're talking about? They kind of get unalived and it looks like something else. Interesting. Then 23, the house, relating to home life. So it could be somebody that they know. There's a lot going on here. 53 is the key. 53, important element to resolve a problem. Yeah, somebody's going to be a problem and somebody needs to solve that problem. And these are two different people. Yeah. Oh, relating to the house. Maybe their house is going to get burnt down. Maybe their house will be burnt down. I don't know how I didn't make that connection right away. I wasn't looking at the card, but yeah, maybe their house is going to get burnt down. And what was 35? Was an open book. Somebody's going to tell the truth. Someone's going to tell the truth, and it's going to go sideways for them. Not because they are being honest, like we're supposed to be honest, but because there's people who don't like that. There's people who will not like that. So poison 144 is money, pay out, money in, money out. So somebody's getting paid off. So almost like an assassin. Someone's getting paid off by an assassin. And of course, like, this is the thing. This is like the energy behind it all. We might not ever get this out in the surface in the headlines and in the stories and everything. This could just be like the mystery that is solved that nobody really knows is a mystery, if that makes sense. 82 is the Medal of Honor. So recognition. I wonder if they'll be recognized. I wonder if that's what that means. Number 6, this is like soulmate love. Like this is, and you know, even if this person, like just say it's a couple, it's a married couple, because we had those cards come out before. If it's a married couple or an engaged couple or a committed partnership, and one kills the other, that's still soulmate, right? Like that's still soul contracts. It's still, because soul contracts aren't always about good, everything going the way your human wants them to go. It's what your soul has agreed would happen while they're here living through a human. And I just had this talk as part of the conversation that I had with Foxy on his channel. I'll put the link in, because it was a big conversation about like how in what a lot of people would call it heaven, but I would call it the Akashic and, you know, the other side and all of this stuff, that there's no good or bad. There's just love. Like it's very neutral, but there's just love. So it's only humans who decide that things are good or bad. So people were like, well, what if somebody did something bad? And it's like, they didn't do anything bad. They just did something that you perceive as bad, right? So when we're talking about, you know, one person kills their spouse, that's still part of the soul contract, unless it's an act of passion and we're all about free will at that point. But for the most part, it's a soul contract thing. So it is a soulmate relationship, and it is unfolding the way it's meant to unfold for the soul. For the humans, you get a raw deal. But for the soul, and we got to separate the two when we're having these kinds of conversations, because it's a big one. This is the biggest kind of conversation I have, is trying to help people understand the soul journey as opposed to the human journey. Because our humans sometimes get put through the ringer for the sake of our soul. And it doesn't feel fair sometimes, but when we accept that our soul has contracted this for our soul's highest good, kind of, you know, sometimes gets a little bit easier. And we can always change trajectories, and we can change things. You know, I remember growing up, my mother used to always say, you can change your destiny by missing a bus, right? So you can change your energy, you can change your destiny, you can change the trajectory, because one step forward opens a whole new path. Even just the intention, even just a desire will open a whole new path. That was a big, long way to say this could be a spouse killing their spouse. It could be a person killing their spouse through poison, burning down the house so that evidence is removed. Or there's, you know, like there's a lot going on here. They may have attempted to have a hit and run and it didn't work out, but yeah. And then 52, the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern, protection from evil spirits, Halloween. So this could unfold. This could be sort of starting now, but like waiting to unfold later. Okay, that was really wild. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, that was all kinds of crazy. Well, and what do we want to know about this? Let's see what this is about. Let's see what this is about. We'll do it like this. Okay, can we see? There we go. All right. Operation Mockingbird. What is that? I'm going to have to look that up. Whatever I find, I'll link to in the description, because I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand. I've heard of it, and I can't, sitting here right now, I can't place it. Probably like if I wasn't in the middle of reading tarot, I would know exactly what it is, but I'm just sort of like, I don't understand what's going on. Magic, miracles, and manifestation. 129 is the beach scene, vacation, warm weather, sand and sea. So whatever's going on, it may take place at the beach, which we've already had a beach card. Interesting. Interesting. 87, the hammer, divine truth that obliterates unbelief, repair, rebuild. Divine truth that obliterates unbelief. Something's going to come to the surface that's going to rock the world. And people aren't going to be able to turn away from it. Like, we have people right now who are in such complete denial of what is going on. Like there are people who have no idea that we are in an economic, mental health, drug, homelessness crisis in our country. There are people who have no idea. I'm like, do you not drive past the encampments? Do you not see the junkies in the streets? Do you not see the suicide rates? Do you not see people working 3 jobs and still having to go to the food bank? You don't see that? So there's got to be something that's got to snap people out of their slumber, really, is what it is. And we are in a spiritual war right now. Like, good and evil is like they're, and the thing is the person you think is evil is not necessarily the evil one in all of this. It's just that you don't like what they're saying. You know, like, just somebody told me a great thing, and they said, trust the art, not the artist. And that really stuck with me, because I thought, yeah, like, I'm going to take Donald Trump as an example. There's a lot of people who will not listen to a word that man says, even when he's right. And he's right an awful lot, right? Because they don't like his personality. They've decided they do not like this man. But meanwhile, he could be doing the things that they want, but they will reject it because it's him. So trust the art, not the artist. Don't reject things just because you don't like the personality presenting them to you. All right. I don't know where that came from, but there we go. Sometimes channeled messages just come out of nowhere. Interesting. White collar crime. White collar crime. I don't know why so many are coming out. Okay. Cowboy. All right. Let's see here. The reason I say Cowboy, because he's Mark Carney's from Alberta. He says this is his home. His home. Hasn't lived in Canada in 10 years, but Alberta's his home. So the shell. Baptism. I would read that as like baptism by fire, because we did have arson in the last little bundle. Interesting. 124. Libra, I balance. Oh, yeah, he keeps telling us he's going to balance the books, but he doesn't have a budget, doesn't know anything, and won't even answer questions. So, yeah, what are you going to balance, pal? What are you going to balance? That's why I just happen to think this card is about him. Number 5 is the sheriff's hat. Authority, enforcing rules and guidance. Yeah, this is the Marxist of Marxists. This guy is WEF. This guy, do you know that Mark Carney's brother is a high-ranking staff member for King Charles? Did you know that part? Yeah, learned that. Learned that the other day. Thanks to somebody who is an incredible researcher and has pieced together a ton of stuff. But yeah, there's going to be, I mean, the censorship bill is back on the table, so I have no idea how long we're going to last here. Yeah, there's all kinds of things, and it's about control, and he won't answer questions, because if he does, then he's lost control. And he doesn't even have answers to questions. So, because I don't think he has any clue. Any clue. 33, bird in the hand. Appreciate what you have. Gratitude. Yeah, that's what he's going to tell you, is to be grateful that the government, you know, he's bringing in his Soviet housing, eh? Yeah, talking about creating housing for people. You know, they want to bring in hundreds of thousands of low quality immigrants to Canada. Like, we don't have enough here. And I have nothing wrong with, I see nothing wrong with immigration, and I have no problem with immigrants. I happen to be one too. Okay. But when you immigrate to a country, you need to bring value to that country, right? In some fashion, you have to be able to, first of all, stand on your own 2 feet and provide for yourself. So Canada's not the place, because Canadians can't even do that right now. And, you know, you have to bring something to the country. And but what we've got is hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many, I've lost count, of people that have been brought here, and the first thing they have to do is get on welfare and get government money and assistance and benefits and everything else, things that Canadians don't qualify for, things that Canadians can't get. So they work hard to pay their taxes so that people come here and just get given everything. And they get put in hotels and they're given money every day. And I met a nurse and she told me that when patients come in, these particular brand of patients come in, they will be like, tell them I need more money. And they're like, you're not even like a Canadian resident. Like, you're here on a temporary visa. Like, stop it, right? So this is the message that's going to be coming from upon high, is just be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that we're giving you scraps and we're giving you modular housing, right? So this is his solution, is modular housing. If only his company, Brookfield, had a modular housing division. Oh, wait, it does. Do you see where I'm going here? Anywho, number 73, my friends. Whew, hope. I actually don't think that this government will last a full term. I think that by Christmas 2026, we're going to have a whole new government. And because I just don't see this lasting. If they hated Justin Trudeau, they're really going to hate Mark Carney. They're really going to hate Mark Carney. Anywho, there we have it. That's really, really weird. Really weird. I feel like there's just Diddy stuff going on. Some Diddy stuff. Let's see what we've got here. We've got the Character Oracle. We'll pull a couple cards from here and see what kind of characters may be coming to the surface this month. And for everybody who does comment, I do consider you a supporter, which is, you know, even better than a subscriber. And I do thank you so much. I love our conversations. There's a few people who comment on everything, and let me tell you, I see your name in my notifications and my little heart lights up. My little heart lights up because I'm like, yay, you see me. You see me. All right, what do we have here? The Revolutionist. No kidding. There's going to be an uprising. You know where I think the first uprising is going to be? In the UK. I think people in the UK are done. I think they're so done that we're going to start seeing more of this, a lot more of this, and then give it 6 months and then we'll see it in Canada. Absolutely. Absolutely. Singer. Interesting. Will it be a singer who is the catalyst? Now, I'm not saying that this singer is going to be leading the revolution, but that this person may spark the revolution. Like, I'm looking at, and I'm just going to give an example, the whole Alberta separation situation. You know, Jan Arden is a singer, and she went off. She lost her mind on the internet. And yeah, so that got a lot of people in the separatist movement even more fired up. So do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who's going to rise as the leader of a revolution. It could be somebody against the revolution who just fuels people to fight even harder. I wonder who the singer is. It's not Bruce Springsteen. That's for sure. That's for sure. And a musician. Interesting. Interesting. Like, I don't know why Garth Brooks is in my mind right now, but keep that name handy. Interesting. Now, remember, this could be like anywhere in the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be Canada or America, even though that tends to be most prevalent for me because I live in Canada and I'm currently being quite affected by America. I'm not angry at America. I don't hate my American friends and fans and subscribers and supporters and everybody else. Like, I don't. Like, I wish we had kind of the same thing going on in Canada, but anyway, and I think that his little plan backfired a little bit. I think he didn't And I mean, Donald Trump, I don't think he understood just how stupid Canadians are. So, yeah. 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 Clergy. Well, we are in a spiritual war. We definitely are. Perhaps it will be the church or clergy. Maybe people will be like just so shocked by what happens that they sort of return to spirituality more. Because there's a lot of people who hate religion, hate God, hate faith of any kind, but they make everything else their religion. Like you can tell what we used to call them branch COVIDians because they made COVID their religion. And now they're making all these other things their religion rather than just go to church and actually have a nice life and be good with yourself and the world and everything else. Like, yeah, it's interesting. And you know, I've been watching a number of videos lately. I don't know why they're popping up in my stream or like in my feed on YouTube. But it's this guy who goes to like pride events, I think, or something. And he's Christian and he just very quietly talks to people, very respectfully, very calmly talks to people. And it's really interesting the reaction he gets. So I don't know. Maybe there's a shift coming. Ninja. Master of stealth. What's coming in is that it's just going to blindside everybody. It's just going to all of a sudden be cracked wide open. And an athlete. Like what's Bruce Jenner just came into my mind, but whatever his new name is. But like as a woman. I watched the documentary on Netflix about him. It was kind of wild. Just how different he looks. Like it's like two totally different people. And not even like there's people that you could be like, okay, I'd put makeup on my boyfriend or my husband and put him in a dress but he still looked like him, but just like with clothes and makeup on. No, Caitlyn Jenner, that's the name. And Bruce Jenner look like two completely different people. It's really, really interesting that we're meant, and isn't that fascinating when we think about, we're meant to believe that Caitlyn Jenner and Bruce Jenner are the same person. You know, I think it's fair to believe that. But we're not meant to believe that Alex Jones and Bill Hicks are the same person. Do you see what I'm saying? See how easy it is to change everything? Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Whew, I feel like there's going to be some interesting stuff coming out. There's going to be some real interesting things coming up in the month of June. We're looking at June. Yeah, there's some stuff happening June 21st. And then I think things are going to, stuff's going to happen. I think there's stuff's going to happen. And it's a lot of things are going to come to the surface politically. And of course, our politics tends to spill into entertainment, as we know. So I think there's a lot of stuff going to kind of blow up and come to the surface. And we might, you know, there's the Diddy trial. And of course, this is now like a lot of political stuff, but then a lot of entertainment stuff. There's all kinds of things going on. So yeah, let me know what you think. What do you sense about what's been going on? And what do you feel about the energy right now? Is it feeling heavy for you? Is it feeling weird? Does it feel like, I don't know, like what timeline are we on here? I don't know. I would love to get back on the timeline where I was happy. I'd love to get back on the timeline where I didn't have a care in the world. Like, I'd love to get back on that timeline. I don't know what timeline this is, but anywho, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to click subscribe, click the like button, and leave a comment so I know you were here and I can welcome you to my world. As ever, have a